It's been a little while since I talked about sugar daddies and sugar babies here on When I'm Not Podcasting, but now is as good a time as any. So here we go. The Sugar Baby School of TikTok. Refinery 29 reports about this. So here's what we got. Candace, an Atlanta-based sugar baby and TikTok creator. She followed her best friend's advice, signing up to the sugar dating website Seeking Arrangement, which is a go-to platform for those seeking mutually beneficial relationships. She now juggles 8 sugar daddies in all corners of the United States who finance her luxurious lifestyle in exchange for her company, which she clarifies never involves sex. So we might have talked about the idea of a lot of seeking arrangement profiles that are out there by women. They are trying to go ahead and be sugar babies without having sex. And obviously a story like this goes right in for Refinery 29 because they're trying to say, oh, look, we're not being escorts. We're not being sexual. We're not being allosexual, as you might have heard in a previous episode. Yeah. So seeking arrangement, there are people that, the women that are on there, they are going to, in some cases, will be looking to go ahead and find sex. They're going to have to go and be sexual because that's probably the return for having the sugar daddy have them and spend money on them. So one morning of December 2020, after she started sugar dating for a few months, she woke up with a sudden urge to share her journey online. She went onto TikTok and put the username Candice Rihanna, CandiserianA, if you're looking for it, carved a space for herself on Sugar Baby TikTok, which is a niche on the platform dedicated to content around the alluring yet misunderstood world of sugaring. So the hashtag Sugar Babies boasts over 530 million views. Hashtag Sugar Baby 490 million. Sugar Baby Check 67 million. And while some of the videos posted on those hashtags consist of sugar babies excitedly displaying their latest Prada bags without explaining how to obtain them, Sugar Baby TikTok has grown an educational division. The Sugar Baby School TikTok is here not to only flex, but to teach as well. Eva, age 23, started posting on TikTok using the username Chill Feline, after she saw another woman glamorizing a lifestyle on the app without offering any safety tips or advice to newcomers. With the aim of spreading awareness about the realities of sugar dating, she now provides to 60,000 followers all the guidance she considers necessary. But one of the things you got to do about seeking arrangement, which I've known because some of the other girls have told me, watch out for the bank account scam. Every girl must get this. They'll get told, hey, I'm going to give me your Cash App and I'm going to put some money in your Cash App. And they're going to try to get your bank account information to get money in there. All they're doing is basically getting your bank account to take money out. Okay? Bank account scam, right? You want to give out a Venmo, a PayPal, a Cash App, a Western Union address. That's one thing. But you're not giving out bank account information. And it's, hey, sometimes somebody can talk yourself into it. Like I said, something like that happened to me with somebody telling me that they were Uber customer support, which I'll talk about later. I actually already talked about it in a previous episode. I think I talked about it on the Wrestling is Real podcast, talking about that a couple weeks ago. But either which way, I'm not going to bring it up here. But it's done. It's over. As for Candice, with a little over 10,000 followers, her expertise primarily resides in using sugar dating websites as smartly as possible, including which photos to upload, what to include in your bio, and how to speak to prospective sugar daddies. She also created and moderates 2 different group chats with 600 members in total. Experienced and novice sugar babies can learn from each other. Wendy, who's another sugar baby, says, quote, I think people have this idea that with any type of sex work that you do it because you're a broken person. But it's the opposite. It does wonders for my self-esteem. Sugar baby TikTok creators also attempt to erase the stigma and debunk the myths surrounding sugar dating. Now, Wendy, we just mentioned, is also adamant that sugar dating goes far beyond and sometimes doesn't include physical intimacy. Sugar daddies, quote, are not just after sex, they want companionship. Well, but, that's not all of them. There's a lot of guys that are sugar daddies on that site. I can tell you, they are looking for sex. And for the most part, some of them are just going to offer the sugar for the sex. And then actually, there are women that are broken on there. Okay, Wendy, I get on there. Okay, I've talked to some of the girls on the sites. Okay, just to do other things. But I'll tell you what, if you're saying that there's not, no, there is. It's funny going and talking to people on those sites, and the idea that no, there are someone that are going through a lot of things. They might feel that they've gone through a lot. Well, we've got to understand this. Many women have gone through experiences where they might have been abused in some way, shape, or form, or they might have gone through some bad, toxic relationships. So there is some brokenness, not broken, but brokenness. And some are truly broken. And there's a lot of people pleasers on that site. I know that for a fact. Now, here's the other thing that she says. She's 40 years old and usually 15 to 20 years older than the average sugar baby, which, by the way, that's very rare. Like, there are some sugar babies that are much older, but for the most part, the ones that the guys are going after are much younger, at least under 30. That's for the most part. So her story doesn't really translate to what the real story is of seeking arrangement in the first place, or other sugar daddy sites for that matter, okay? By destigmatizing sugar dating, being transparent about what these relationships actually entail, and giving tips on how to get started, sugar baby TikTok creators are creating the lifestyle seeming a much more desirable option to many viewers. And that's the only thing, is that, honestly, this is it could be considered a manipulation, because you're just getting more women, just like more women are interested in going to OnlyFans because they feel like, well, they're not getting sexual, they're not being very adult, they don't have to show all the nudity. They can just go and show their bodies without showing nudity. Well, that's what they're saying right there, right? When it comes to OnlyFans, the same thing applies here. Sugar dating, but you don't have to be sexual. I can be, sexy, but I don't have to be sexual, right? That's what they're trying to say here. It's a manipulation. It just totally is. Hate to tell you that, but it's just true. And don't ask me how I know all this stuff. I just know it for a fact, all right? Sugar baby TikTok's popularity and its apparent success in promoting the lifestyle has to be understood in our current economic climate. Eva started sugaring in October 2020, struggling to find a job post-graduation. She was running out of money, and unemployment benefits were not covered enough to cover rent and both expenses. I want to invest that money to pull my family and I out of poverty. So again, listen to that. In some cases, yes. Some of the sugar babies, they want to go ahead and be empowered. They want to be able to go and get money to help better their situation, their living situation, their school situation, their student loans, things like that. Then there are others. So the stereotype so much of they're just being those that want to get spoiled with Balenciaga, Gucci, Prada products. No, it's not really that. It's not so much spoiled. There is quite a few girls that are looking to get spoiled. Yes, there is that. But sugar babies also, it's really a lot of college girls looking to try to make ends meet because of how much things cost. And again, this could be avoided if school didn't cost so damn much, and if things didn't cost so much, and there was ways to go ahead and give support to some of these girls to do that. Or some of the girls, they didn't have to go and spend so much money on private school or on other things they needed to get, right? Or they can make more money to do things. So again, women have to find ways to go make a living if they don't make it through their career. And if they're using their beauty and their youth, they're going to do that. And some guys, because we've gotten the simp culture in play, the idea that guys can go ahead and just do whatever a woman wants and put a girl on a pedestal without having sex is a different story. Financial instability is partly what convinced Lou, age 24, to try sugar dating a few months ago. After sugar baby TikTok videos kept popping in her For You page, she realized that signing up to a sugaring website could help her attend fashion school and pay back the money she borrowed after losing her job due to coronavirus. But Lou's experience wasn't as positive as she hoped for. Quote, I thought I could entertain an older guy for a few hours for a little bit of financial help, and I was wrong. A lot of the men want to scam you or they want to have sex with you. Well, the scam part is, again, the bank account stuff. And there are guys that are looking to scam on there as well. I'm not going to say there's not. But for the most part, the guys are going to want to have sex. And, I'll be surprised they're not being upfront about it. But any woman that goes onto one of those sites, they need to understand a lot of the guys are going to look to have sex with the women. So many of those girls do put that they're looking for a platonic relationship or something more virtual. So the fact they're not going to meet with them will make it absolutely not sexual. So many girls will say they're virtual or they're platonic in some cases. Becoming more mainstream, sugar dating has attracted a lot of unscrupulous men. Safety hazards can be difficult to avoid for those stepping into the sugaring world unprepared. Quote, once it becomes a trend, some people believe it's quick money and they don't do their research before getting into it. They don't realize the risks or dangers. Having so much information available online is kind of a double-edged sword. Yes, those who want to become sugar babies have more tips, but also the sugar daddy market is more saturated with scammers. Yeah, they feel like, the guys can go ahead and manipulate what's being said by sugar baby TikTok. So the creators need to realize that what they're trying to say out there, it's the same thing with girls or guys offering dating advice when there's really no experience behind it. And for me, like I said, I learned more being on the outside and not being involved. So by demystifying the world of sugaring, making safety paramount, and reminding their audience of their self-worth, the Sugar Baby School of TikTok is paving the way for a new generation of self-assured, prudent, and prosperous graduates. So, by the way, the names were all anonymous. They were all changed to request an interviewee to protect their identity. So there you go. When it comes down to it, we have a number of girls here that are offering their advice here. And listen, they're probably well-intentioned, and they feel like they want to go and share secrets of their success. I got that. But what it comes down to is this as well, more than anything else, is that when you're doing this kind of thing, what needs to be understood for the women out there is that some of the girls that get on these sites, again, young, vulnerable, they might have gone through a lot of different things in their life, and just realize there are some that are very vulnerable. And guys that want to be on these sites, keep in mind the women that you have out there and what they've gone through, and to be empathetic and sympathetic to what they're going through, but not to the point where you're just like they're a victim, then you just go and be put on a pedestal and just make them feel over the top, feel beautiful. Like, make it honest, be sincere about it. That goes for dating in general. And just realize there's a lot of young, beautiful women on these sites that are, they're just good people overall. And so, for the girls that want to get on here and you're people pleasers, please make sure not to get yourself scammed. And just realize, again, talk about self-worth and valuing your intelligence, your beauty, knowing that you're not the victim, that you're the survivor, you're the fighter. You are tough, you are strong, emotionally strong, and that you are resilient. You want that to be out there as the going message for you if you're one of those girls that are sugar dating out there. You want to keep that in mind. And you don't want anybody to go and take advantage of you, but then you don't want to lose who you were and who you try to become in life, right? The one thing I would love women to not feel more than anything else is that when a lot of things have happened to them, I would hope that they would not feel like they are not without support and not without people that care or that want to go ahead and be there for them, however they want them to be there for them, right? And, sometimes the fact if a woman wants to go ahead and ask for help, and if it's something financial, listen, if guys want to do something like that, knock yourself out. I mean, you don't have to go that route, but some guys feel like this is where they need to go now because there's no such thing as an honest relationship anymore where it could just be beneficial for both and that both people are contributing in some way, shape, or form. Sugar dating has become much more popular now. Just got to tell you that's what's happening. There's a lot of sites out there and a lot of different people, young, that are not going out dating conventionally. They are dating like this. So for me, I go on these sites because I find really quality women on these sites to date. Believe it or not. Not even so much sugar dating, but dating. I do better on those sites. That's why I go on it. Remember, some of the guys have to spend up to $100 on seeking arrangement to get onto the site. And I wait for the coupons. But anyways, if you're going to do that, it's like the quality of what you're getting on online dating. Paying $20, $30 to go onto a Bumble or a Hinge or whatever else and not getting anything out of it. And basically getting the same idea of the sugar dating because the women on those sites are doing the same thing. I might as well just go to the real place and find women that are not, being half-assed about it or being hypocritical. I'd rather be the ones that actually are blunt about it and say, this is what I'm looking for. Because it is. So don't knock those sites and don't knock what's going on here. Again, society has brought things the way they are now, right? And that I want to respect, I want to love women, and I want them to feel beautiful. And I want them to feel like whatever things that might have happened to them by people that were really stupid or douchebags or whatever it might be, that they don't need to let that, they don't need to let those experiences, those episodes, those memories live rent free in your head. That you can live outside of that whole cloud and you can find the light ahead of everything else. Light above the darkness. That's the promising message here on When I'm Podcasting. And I hope you appreciate the message here. And I hope you guys found what you're looking for. I'll talk to you next time.